Okay, so today we will learn about SQL joins. In the last two classes, we learned about the basics of SQL. We learned how to practice SQL. We learned how to extract information from the database tables, and so on and so forth. Yesterday, we learned about a number of things, right? We learned about using between clause, in clause. We learned about wildcards, using using summary functions such as minimum, maximum, count, average, sum, all these things, right? Also learned about aliases, right? In this stream we will learn about joins. These are very important in SQL queries. You can write very complex queries using SQL joins. It's very simple actually. It's about joining two or multiple database tables. So far we have been using only one database table, right? Only one database table. So the examples that we took in the last two classes, we only took a database that is we only took a database table that is just one, right? Customer table. But we can also extract information from multiple tables. By joining multiple tables, we can extract information. So that something can be done using SQL join, and we will learn how to extract information from more than one table at the same time by doing some joining. Okay, there are various types of joins. One is inner join, second one is left join, then right join, and then you have full join. Okay, I'll explain the theory in brief, but then we'll also take some examples, and then it will be more clear. Okay, so inner join is where, let's say you have two tables, table 1 and table 2, and you want only the matching columns. And how do you match? Using the primary key. And what is a primary key? You remember I had told you in the first class. So primary key is basically the unique column in the table, unique identifier. Like in the customer table we had customer ID. That means known to customers have the same customer ID. It's like in India you have Aadhaar card, right? So known to people have the same Aadhaar number, right? In the US you have known to people have the same social security number. So that is called primary key, or a column or a variable which is very unique for a given customer or for a given person or a given row in the database table. Okay, and now you have two tables, table 1 and table 2. If you want only the matching columns between matching rows between these two tables, then you must use inner join. So inner join will help you getting the matching rows from these two columns, and matching by what? This unique column or this unique key or the primary key. And we'll take an example, it will be much more clearer, but this is just for theory. Left join is where we want all the information, all the rows from the left table and only the matching cases from the right table. Okay, maybe a bit slightly confusing for now, but I'll take an example to explain that. And the right join is where we want only matching column from the matching rows from the left table or the first table, and all the rows from the right table or the table 2. And full join is where you want all the information, doesn't matter whether it matches or not, from both tables. Let me tell you, in the industry, in the application world, the two important one, the inner join and left join. These two are important. Right join and full join are less important, so we'll focus more on inner join and left join, where most of the times we'll be using these two types of joins. Okay, and we'll take an example to understand. And so doing example makes a lot of it helps a lot. Okay, so let's take an example here. Okay, so we have got two tables. Okay, one is orders, the other one is customer. So let me first show you what is there in these two tables. Okay, so let's say select starts from orders. Okay, so the first table is orders. Orders mean customer order, right? So this is one table where we have order ID, customer ID, employee ID, order date, ship date. So these 5 columns are there, right? And the second one is the customer, and you have seen that customer table, right? You have seen the customers, right? Yeah, you have seen that, right? In the last 2 classes we have seen. So what are there? We have customer ID, column customer name, customer address, city, postal code, and country. So what is the common column? What is the column that is there in both tables? Customer ID, right? And it's a unique value, right? So it's the unique value, and it is there in both tables, isn't it? So let me, so this is the script, actually it was already there, so let me explain this script. So what we want order ID, customer name, and order date. Remember, this customer order ID is coming from the table orders, so it has to be order dot order ID. That means is coming from the table orders, okay? Whereas customer name is coming from the table customers, so it has to be customer dot customer name. And then order date is coming from again orders, okay? So it has to be orders dot order date. So there are 2 tables, right? We are getting information from 2 tables. Then we call from orders, the first table, right? Inner join customer, that means you are joining orders with customers. You are joining these 2 tables. On what you will join? Remember, always you always join on the unique value, the primary column, the column that takes only unique values, that has only unique values. You use that in order to join 2 tables, okay? So in this case, customer ID is a common column, right, in common variable in both tables, and both are unique also, right? Hence you have customer ID, order dot customer ID equal to customers dot customer ID. That means this customer ID will be matched from both tables, orders and customers, right? Then it will match and will get you what? Order ID, customer name, and order date, okay? So we have seen you both 2 tables, right? I have seen you 2 tables, orders and customers. Now we are joining them to get information. Some information from orders, some information from customers, right? So let's run this. Here we have 198 cases. And remember, when you use inner join, that means only matching cases. If it's not matching, then it will not show up, okay? And here you see we have order, we have customer name, and order date. This order date is coming from orders table, order ID is coming from orders table again, but customer name is coming from customers table. That means we are getting information from 2 tables. So that's unique, right? We can also get it from more than 2 tables, but that will be even more complex. But I will not go into the details of how you can extract information from more than 2 tables. But 2 tables, you should first learn how to join 2 tables first. That's the easiest part, so you should learn for that first, right? Imagine what would have happened if you would have joined left join. So let's use left join. So how to do left join? It's the exact syntax. The code remains the same, except instead of inner, just we have changes to left. And let us run this, right? With inner join we got 198 observation, right? 196. So with left join also we are getting 196. So it's the same output, but you won't get the same output everywhere. Why we are getting same output? Because all the customer ID in the orders tables are present in the customers table. Hence we are getting the same number of observations. But sometimes you might get also more cases, right? Inner join will give less cases, only matching cases, whereas left join will give matching as well as non-matching cases from the first table, okay? Non-matching cases from the first table, which is the order ID. Okay, so that's about inner join and left join. Easy, right? If you have questions, you can let me know. It's quite easy actually. It's not that difficult. Yeah, can you all like the stream? This is important. Okay, so that's so easy. and then sometimes it is bit confusing, but always remember why we join table. That makes more sense. So first I would say master the inner join thing, and then go to left join, and take more examples from internet and do it. It will be, give you good practice. So joining is very very important in SQL. If you have mastered join, then you can write very complex queries. So it's very important therefore to understand how to join two tables using inner join and left join. And then when you have mastered these two types of joins, then you can do right join, outer join, full join, so all these other joins which are less used actually. So if you master, if you are able to master these two concepts, inner join and left join, then you will be able to write very complex queries. All right, perfect. So now we have learned a bit about join. So what shall we learn then? Okay, so we'll use union. Union is about, it's not about joining, it's about just showing the output of two queries from the same table or from different table, but just combine in a combined way. It's not about combining tables, it's about only combining the output result, so nothing else. We are not getting information from two different I mean you can do that also, but what's mostly it is used, union is used, is only to combine output. And let me show you that. Okay, so let's say select star from customers, then I will use union select star from orders. So what it will do is that it will first get all the information from customer, and then in the next page it will give all the information from orders, and it will just combine, only combining the output, nothing more than that. So it's not combining table, we are not getting information from two different tables. It's just about combining the output, whatever you see in the output, right? It is just combining, right? So here let's just run this. Oh, there is some problem. Okay, let's use their own examples. Okay, probably you can't okay, so I think star is making a problem. Let's say customer ID, and here I have used order ID. Okay, just one column, right? Not two. Let me see. Yes, so here now I get, see here the output. So first it shows the customer IDs from the customers table, and then what it does is append the order ID, right? And the order ID starts from here, right? So in the same output it is just giving. So it's not joining, right? It's not joining tables and getting information. It's simply about combining the output, nothing else, right? So sometimes that is needed. Okay, then we will learn about group by. Group by is very very important, and that's perhaps the last thing we will learn for today, right? Maybe in the next session we will learn about case statement, which is again a very important one, but I won't get into case statement right now because case statement is very bit more complex. If you can master inner join, left join, group by and union, these four topics for today, I think that will be a great achievement. Okay, so let us learn then group by, which is the last concept we will learn. So group by is about when you have different segments in your data. Okay, I don't know actually whether we have segments here, but let's take the examples what you have, if what W3 school has given, and then it's better to use their its own example. Yeah, that's possible actually. Yeah, for the customer, yeah, I think it's a good example already there. So group by is used if you have some categorical variable. Categorical variable means for example, name of the country, right? There, let's say there are 100 observation in your table and there are 6 countries. So in customer table we have many countries, right? Yes or not? Right? For example, let's say I say select distinct. Distinct means only the unique value it will show. Select distinct country from customers. So in from the customers table we are selecting all the unique countries, right? And let me see how many of them. There are 21 unique country, right? Although there are 91 observations, but some of them are repeated, right? Because some of the customers, like many customers are from more than one customers are from one given country, but unique country there are only 21. Now we want to know how many customers are each from these countries. Okay, so how many customers from Germany, how many from UK, how many from Denmark. Okay, how do you do that? Okay, so how we do, simply you write count. This function count will just count country from customers group by country. Okay, so this group by means by each country count how many. So that's basically is a human language, right? So by each country how many observations are there. So for UK it will then count how many observation or how many customers. For Denmark how many customers. For Germany how many customers. So it will automatically. So how the syntax, select count then country from customers group by country, right? So customer is just a table, group by country means you take that as a reference. Country, you have 21 countries, separate country, so for each country give us a count for each country, right? We also learned alias yesterday, that means we can give a different name. It's country, count of country, right? Something we can give any name, just use as count, simply count underscore maybe customer. Okay, so this is not required, this is optional. I mean, if you don't use also that's fine, but you need to give a good name, right? So I'm just using as count name. You can give any name you want, right? Yesterday we learned about alias, how you can change a name in your output. So that's how we have used as count underscore customer. Okay, and let me run this, right? So here, oh sorry, let's also learn country, because if you don't extract country, what happens is that it just gives country count, but we also need country and then count, right? Both. So hence I get first country, so that's that column I want, but I also want count of country, right? So now you get 2 columns. So country Argentina, and then you have 3 customers, Austria 2 customers, Belgium 2 customers, Brazil 9 customers, Denmark 3 customers or 2 customers, right? Finland, France 11 customer, Germany 11 customer, Ireland 1 customer, right? So that's the way you count the number of customers from each country. Okay, so this is very easy, right? So that's the way you actually use group by. Group by is very, it's, you not just can use count, you can also sum, and you can also use other summary functions, right? We use a lot of these functions. Sum is basically adding numbers, right? You can also get average, right? Count. So these functions basically you can use. Maximum, minimum also you can use, right? But wherever it makes sense. Maximum of a customer, right, doesn't make sense, but for example maximum of salary, that will make sense. Alright, that's it for today. That's it, and we have covered all the concepts. So you may also revise this concept in your free time, and you can use W3 Schools where you have all these examples and you can try it out.